Welcome and thanks for joining me right here on my channel. The solution is you. If you are just stopping by and enjoy the content, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. With that, let me go ahead and get into today's subject. Now, the topic of today is I can't believe that happened. Now, each of us at some point in time in our lives have been in a situation that we would like to recall. We all have been in embarrassing moments, and a lot of times things just seem to go wrong when we least expect it. So today I put together 5 moments of disbelief. So for the men, men, when we are in relationships and say we're inside of the home and we're talking to our wife or whatever, and you have a habit of saying baby with everything that you say. So, baby, can you get the food for me? Baby, can you make the call for me? I love you, baby. Baby, can you come and scratch my back? So everything is baby. And so the more you say it, the more it's just second nature to say when you are talking to your significant other, no matter where you're at. Even if you're at the store or even if you're outside watering the lawn or wherever you at. Baby, can you go inside and give me a glass of Kool-Aid? So a lot of times, you have some men that chat a lot. You have some men that are really reserved, so they don't say too much of anything unless you can bring it out of them. But then you have a lot of men who don't mind chatting and talking, so they, spill their heart and they go out and like to talk about any and everything with anyone. So as you can probably you may have been in a situation where as a man you're talking to one of your guy friends on the phone, and so you two are in a conversation about something that may have happened last weekend, and so y'all talking back and forth, but on your mind you're thinking about your woman. Maybe it's something y'all had talked about earlier or something that y'all had did um, in the past. And so it's just something that's really on your mind. And so in the middle of a conversation where you and your friend is talking on the phone, maybe y'all talking about some football or something like that, and in the middle of your conversation, you call your buddy baby. How many of y'all guys ever been in this situation where you slipped up thinking about your woman and call your man baby? Man, you definitely have to explain that one. Now, number two. So a lot of times I've heard women say that other women are messy. And so this is the reason why they choose to hang around men mostly. And this is just for some women. And so there are you women who have friends, women friends that you've known for a long time. Maybe it's since college, or maybe it's just, y'all grew up together in the same neighborhood and you know their entire family. So you and this particular girl, y'all did everything together. Y'all would always go out. Y'all would go buy clothes together. Y'all spend a lot of time over each other's houses. Who knows? Y'all may have spent the night over each other's house. And so, you two are very close. And sometimes, things tend to take a turn for the worse, regardless of how long or how tight you guys are. So you can take a situation as a woman where you have one of your best girlfriends or whatever, and you've taken a liking to her boyfriend. So you've spent so much time with your homegirl that you've built up a relationship with her man. So you and her man have decided to go out to a movie, or maybe y'all are out to eat at a particular restaurant, and say this is a movie theater or a restaurant that you've chosen that is a few miles away from the local area you would normally hang. So you're just trying to lay low. You're trying to be in a situation where there's less people who know you. And so you two meet up, say it's about maybe 15, 20 miles outside of where your local area is. And so, you're at the restaurant or you're at the movies, and you're so close that you start holding hands. And you get to a point where now you're sitting on the guy's lap. And again, this is your best girlfriend's boyfriend. And so you done got so comfortable, you're sitting on the guy's lap in the lobby or whatever, and you got so comfortable that when you looked up, there was a person from your neighborhood that you knew that was looking right at you, coming in to eat at that same restaurant, or maybe to coming in to see the same movie that you guys have saw or about to see. So, you have to go through the whole greeting and everything as if things are normal. Because if you were to show any signs of fear or anything like that, that's going to make you feel guilty, even though you've been busted already. And so this person that you saw has a connection with your girlfriend. So, this is a person who can easily pick up the phone and give her a call to let her know what's going on. And so, this is definitely one of those situations where, you have to be careful, and you definitely wish did not happen, because this is going to definitely drive a wedge between you and your girlfriend. So hopefully you haven't been in this situation, but if you have, it's time to get that story together. Now, number 3. So this one's for the men. So a lot of us, we don't attend church as often as we should. You may find that your significant other has to basically beg you to come to church. Usually when you're in church, you're falling asleep. Sometimes church can be boring, or sometimes, depending on what's going on, it can hype you up. So when you go into church with your significant others, sometimes it's a good feeling, because both of y'all are getting out, you're getting the word, you're getting some lessons that you can apply to your life in general. However, there may have been a time where you ran into some major distractions, especially the further south that you are. So let's say it's a Sunday, and you're a guy and you got your girl with you, and you're at church, and this is at the beginning of the main service, so everybody's filling up the church, and you come in and you got your woman, and you're trying to determine where y'all are going to sit. And so, you have all the ladies are coming in. All the ladies are coming in looking good. They got on the tight dresses and the nice skirts or whatever, and they coming in with the heels on. And so you done got so distracted looking at all the cakes jiggling that you lost track and all sense of time with your woman. And so she is just sitting there looking at you being distracted. And by the time what seemed like 2 seconds was actually 1 minute. And so you looking at your woman, she looking at you, and now she has an attitude because she feels that you done disrespected her in church. And don't let it be a situation where you done got caught looking at the cakes by the pastor. Let's say this is a church that you've been going to often, and maybe it could be a smaller church where everybody knows everyone, and the pastor and you have some sort of a relationship, or it could be you and some of the deacons, or some other people who are a part of the clergy or something like that. And one of them busts you looking at the cakes too long, knowing that you have a significant other with you. And you always seem to be in a situation where the person who busted you, you happen to see him multiple times, while you're at church. So the same person who caught you looking a little too long seems to always pop up multiple times, just so you can have that reminder of the embarrassment that you went through. And also, you could be in a coincidental situation where it's a part of the service where they say, I want all the couples to stand up, look at each other, and tell each other how much you love them. Man, things just seem like they just can't come at a better time. Now, number 4 on the list of I can't believe that happened. Now, this is for the women. So let's say you're at the job and there's this particular guy that you're into. And on this particular day, you're dressed in all white. So you may got on like a white top with some white pants or jeans or something. And you're looking nice, you got your hair done, and you're at the job. So it's this guy that you are into, and you're sitting in the same room, maybe y'all in the same department or something like that, but it's far enough where you can see him and he can see you. So every time y'all come in and y'all sit and y'all are working, he can look back and he's looking at you and you looking at him. So y'all giving each other the eye. So y'all have that vibe going on. And anytime you get up, you got to walk right past him to leave the department. So if you need to go to the lunchroom, you got to get up, you got to walk right past him. And, he's seen you so much, every day you're looking fly. So he can't wait for you to walk past so he can see what you're working with. So this particular day, you have on all white. Everything's looking good. You're smelling good. Everything's fly. The vibe and everything is still there. And so on this particular day, you happen to get up and you notice that on your way to the lunchroom that you're feeling wet. So then you examine yourself, you take a look at what it could be. Maybe you sat down, there was some Coke or something that spilled in your seat. But then you determine that your period just came down. And that this is one of the times where it was at its heaviest. And it happened to stain up all your white clothing. And now the only exit is to go out the front, pass right by the guy that you're into. I don't know what to tell you about this situation, but definitely this may be a time that you can't believe that happened. And now the 5th and final moment of disbelief under I can't believe that happened. And this is for the men. So, at some point in your life, and even now, I'm sure that there are men that have side pieces. And when you over your side piece house, you're having a great time. I mean, some side pieces are fixing you a meal. They're giving you a massage. Some of them may even rub your feet. Y'all could be watching a movie together, eating popcorn. So there's so much fun going on. And with all the fun and all the relaxation that's going on, a lot of times you can just be in your own world and you kind of let your guards down about everything. And so when you're in a situation like this, you more than likely will find yourself in the nookie jar. And so the nookie jar can be filled with so many sweets that you'll find that it's hard for you to stay up past a certain time. And no matter how hard you try to fight it, you try to stay up because maybe it was a situation where you had to leave at a certain time, so you want to make sure you don't fall asleep so you can exit on time to get back to where you need to be. Or it could be a situation where you're trying to manage everything out to make sure that it's not a fall in love situation. So you want to make sure that you get up out of there at a certain time to ensure things don't go any further. But when the nookie jar is so good that you find yourself in a deep sleep and you end up waking up the next morning, a lot of things tend to take place throughout that period of sleep. And so remember, this is a side piece for a reason, and a lot of things can take place that's out of your control at that moment. And it isn't until you find out when you get back home to your main thing that there was a pic that was taken of you and sent to her or perhaps posted online of you over your side piece's house. This could have been a situation where you were very vulnerable. So the nookie jar may have been so good that you was caught with your thumb in your mouth. Or maybe you were holding a teddy bear while you were asleep and the pic was taken. You never know who could set you up for failure. And you definitely got to make sure that you are not putting yourself in a situation that could jeopardize everything that you have. I hope you enjoyed today's message. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.